you're lost? Do you believe that you need saving?
We miss our lostness because we run to other saviors. They mask our lostness.
We are in a world lost in utter darkness with enemies all around. We are all in desperation, saying, God, show me the way. Show me the way.
So many of us want to live life on our own terms, doing things our way, trusting in ourselves. We want to remain in power of our own kingdoms.
Following Jesus is going to look like encountering people who need mercy, encountering people who have been beaten up by life, encountering people who have been marginalized. That's the path that Jesus walked. And if we're following him, then it's going to be the path that we walk.
We all have a spiritual longing inside of us. We want to see.
This man has the Son of God standing in front of him, and for earthly riches, he trades it away.
At the end of the day, there's only two categories of people. The only two types of people are those who have received Jesus and those who reject him. In the scan and the scope of eternity, the question is, how did you respond to Jesus?
Which group are you a part of? Are you a part of the first group who rejects Jesus as your rightful king and your object of worship?
And despite all the evidence, despite the nagging in your heart, you still reject Jesus. Why? Because we want the power.
So for many people, this was a triumphal entry, but you'll notice for Jesus, it was a tearful entry.
Our sin has destroyed our relationship with the one who made us and put us at odds with the King of Kings, the cornerstone of everything.
Our sin, whatever form it looks like, enslaves us. Our flesh brings us death.
If sin has brought us death, where are you turning to give you life?
You see, when the hour is darkest, there is still light. That light is always present, and God is still working.
The path of redemption that we have seen laid out from the garden through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, and the people of Israel, that Jesus was fulfilling the redemption of his people back to himself and to all those who believe.
He broke his body and poured out his blood because he loved us, but also because he took sin seriously.
He came in to put his life on the line. This is the hope of the gospel on display in the parable, that Christ was brought to ruin so that we could be received by God.
The veil is torn and we now have access to our God. The same God that resurrected Jesus from the dead now lives inside of you and me.
Now that curtain's torn. This act showed that the sacrifice of Jesus had accomplished the new covenant in his blood.
That means your sin can be atoned for because Jesus came to save you from the penalty of your sin.
That's why Jesus came. He died for you, he died for me. Betrayers, deniers, disputers, demanders, to die the death we should have died so that we could be made right with God.
This is the God we worship. This is the Son that we love. This is the gospel that we proclaim to our neighbors, family, and friends. A God who was ruined so that we could be received.